maker, Emily here, otherwise known as That Mom with a Laser, and it's on this channel where I attempt to simplify what it's like to operate a laser engraving machine. Now I do that while fueling the entrepreneurial spirit and hopefully filling the maker heart. Now, I know that as laser operators, we are driven by the opportunity to be able to mass produce products, right? Many of us are constantly trying to find products that are quick to produce and get out the door. I can totally appreciate that. And by the way, shout out to those of you that are killing it this holiday season. I am so excited for you. But today I am going to slow things down just a little bit because I have been having an itch to create something on a different level. Have you ever seen a sign and stopped and thought to yourself, oh my goodness, how are they doing that? Well, that's what happened to me when my girlfriend Jasmine from the homestay showed up in my little laser world. Instantly, when I saw her work, I knew that she was doing something that was beyond the laser. And when I asked her what she was doing, she shared with me that she uses the Marathon handheld rotary tool by Bearwoods Supply Company. And the more I looked into this tool, the more I realized, wow, this one is hands down considered the best for sign makers that make these kinds of signs. So I kind of reached out to the company. I told them, hey, I have a YouTube channel. I'd really love to work with your rotary tool. Do you want to send it to me? And you know what? They said yes. So full disclosure, in today's video, I'm going to be going over a rotary tool that was sent to me by Bearwoods Supply Company. And if by the end of this video, you determine that you want to give something like this a shot, make sure you use the code LASERMOM to get 5% off. So you see, in today's tutorial, I'm going to use my laser to save time. And then once I have all my cuts ready, I'm going to add a level of craftsmanship to hopefully make something that I've never made before. So with that, are you ready to learn a little bit about this tool with me? If so, let's go. All right, guys, so here we have it, the Marathon Rotary Tool. As you can see, this alone right here, the fact that I can hold this like a pen is what sets this apart from all the other rotaries on the market. I happen to have two other ones. They are heavy, they're bulky, and after you use them for a while, they shake so much that your hand starts to hurt after a while. I used this one for an hour nonstop, and even then, my hand was not bothering me, so that was awesome. I like to think of it now as tiny yet mighty. It's really well controlled. Another thing that sets apart this particular rotary is the fact that it has a foot pedal, and I really enjoyed this because I could work kind of like harmoniously with the wood as I was carving into it. So the fact that it's lightweight, it feels like more like a pen, it's easier to use, and the foot pedal off the bat are what kind of, set this baby apart. Now, you can control the speed with this dial here. You have the option of using the foot pedal or just the control unit. Here on the side, this is how you would turn it on with the power. Then you can also control the rotation of the piece. So if you want it to go in forward or if you want it to go in reverse, you would control that here. And then this button here is whether or not you want to use the hand selector for the speed or the foot pedal. So you would switch that here. So these are the main components. Let's go ahead and talk about the different bits and how you would use them to detail a project. So when I first got this, I was trying to figure out how to even switch out the bits, and I kept twisting this part here, but nothing came out, and I was like, what is going on here? So I was missing the fact that you need to click it in place, just like that, okay? So if you want to release something, you want to make sure you click it over, and then you're going to pull out, when you get it, it comes with this, it's kind of like I guess like a placeholder. I don't really know what you would use this for, but it's just there. So that's how you would take it out. And you're also going to have a little reducing sleeve like this one, also known as a collet, and you will use this for different bits, just depending on, the size of the bit, and I'll show you how that works in just a little bit. So one of the main ones that I used is this sanding band right here, and I have 3 different types of grits that I could potentially use. I have fine, medium, and coarse. I ended up just using a coarse one for the project that I worked on today. So you would just take it, slide it on, and then there's this little, doohickey that you can use to tighten it on and make sure it doesn't slip off, okay? So once you have your sanding band with the grit that you choose, this one doesn't need a reducing sleeve, so you would just slide it in and then secured in place, okay? So this I found was particularly helpful for removing the majority of the edges on my leaves. So it really was great at creating kind of like a tapered edge onto my leaves, and this was pretty handy. It's probably going to be one of the ones that I use the most when I'm shaping my florals or shaping my signs. Now, another bit that I really enjoyed working with was this little sanding disc. So the piece looks like this, and you pinch it together. See how it's kind of sliced in there? Okay, you pinch it together, and then you pop on your sanding disc. Now, again, I have 3 different types of grits here. I have fine, medium, and coarse. I found that the coarse was really strong for the MDF that I was working with, and I ended up preferring the medium. I haven't used the fine grits on any of them. So for this one, this is where you would use that reducing sleeve that I showed you earlier. So I slide it on here. I'm going to release the bit that I currently have in here, insert this one, and secure it. Now, I think this might be my favorite bit that I've worked with so far. I really loved how it allowed me to get into tight corners on my leaves, and I even liked the ability to kind of like shave off from the top of the leaf so that I could create the illusion that, you know, the leaf is bending down underneath, or I'm sorry, the petal is bending down underneath the center of my flower. So this was my favorite one to work with, to be honest with you. And then the last bit that I used for my project today was the small ball bit. They did send me 2. This one was a little too big for what I was going for today, so I just ended up using the small one. So again, I'm going to release the bit that I have in here. Now, you're also going to use the reducing sleeve for the small ball bit. Place it in there, and then secure it. Now, this one I struggled with the most, and I can tell that this is the one that I'm going to need to practice with the most of the 3 bits that I was working with today. But what's really great about this little ball bit here is the ability to create like the veins within my leaves. If I wanted to do any other detail work, this would be great for carving out lines, maybe hair. I've seen some Santas where you can see the carving into the beard. So this was a neat one. I'm just gonna need to practice with it and learn how to just get a little more steady. You can see in my leaves, I intentionally used score lines with the laser so that I could, I'm not very good at eyeballing things, so I could kind of guide where my veins would go, but even then, just having a little more control over how to use this is gonna be something I need to practice more of. So this is it. These are the main components that I used to start learning how to shape and really create some incredible dimension with my pieces. Now there are a few other things that I would recommend when you start working with this. You definitely want to use some safety glasses just in case. You never know when something could come loose and go flying out. And then I also used a dust collector. I have a cheap shop vac from Home Depot, and that was great for collecting all of the dust as I was sanding. So I also used some earmuffs. I have these that I got for my son when we went to a monster truck show. So these came in handy, and I used a piece of tulle with a rubber band around the end of my shop vac, because that you know, I didn't want it sucking up any of my smaller pieces or any of my bits. So that just kind of served to protect any of my pieces around my workspace. So here's what it looks like once it's been shaped. You can see on the left, it's been cut with the laser. You can still get that illusion of veins within the leaves and the petals because I scored them with the laser. Whereas on the right, it just totally changes the feel of the piece with the hand carving added to it. So here is my final piece, and I'm so happy. I've been wanting to do this for so long, and for my first try, I'm just over the moon. I love it. Well, guys, there you have it. I can't believe it. I made that. I have been wanting to do something like this for so long, and I'm just like, I did it. I'm so proud of myself. Is it perfect? No. But am I proud? You betcha. So I promise to come back and show you guys how I stacked everything and how I primed it and painted it. But for right now, I think I'm just gonna sit back and kind of pat myself on the back for a job well done. I really hope you enjoyed your time here with me today. And if you decide that you want to try this tool, then you just need to visit www.bearwood.com and use the code LaserMom to get 5% off your order. And with that, guys, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you're following me on social media. Let's get connected, and I'll see you guys here soon over at That Mom with the Laser.